Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tracy Takes On. I thought I was going to have some guests today, but apparently I am not. So, for the fourth time in a row, you are just getting me today. I'm trying to see if someone contacted me to let me know they're trying to get in. No. So, we're going to start today. As you can see, I'm inviting you all to support this channel on Patreon. And I'm pretty sure no one's going to watch because this was going to be our test episode to see can we go live. So I'm still going to talk anyway because there's a couple things I want to discuss. Again, we're talking about the withdrawal from Afghanistan by the soldiers. Of course, I went over all of that, but I think it's the right decision. I'm tired of the media making all these insane criticisms. We got to stop with the forever wars. We just have to stop with the forever wars. But mostly what I wanted to talk about was the vaccine in terms of the variant spreading. Certain states are experiencing a high number of cases. The state of Alabama, for instance, they have more people than hospital beds available. And most of those people in the hospital beds are unvaccinated people. Again, vaccinated people can get COVID. It's rare that they have to be hospitalized, but it does happen. But in the majority of these cases, it's the unvaccinated that keep being hospitalized for this. And it's getting to the point where we're going to have to start demanding that we have mandates. Again, I know nobody likes mandates. People have their feelings about them. Again, I'm not opposed to them. We're always mandated for other things. Children have to be mandated to get into school. If you work in the healthcare profession, you have to be vaccinated to work in the healthcare industry. So if the governors aren't going to do it, I would not be surprised if employers started doing it. And of course, it's completely legal for them to do that. And, it's been, proven in court, the Supreme Court thing. So it's been proven in the Supreme Court that these type of mandates can go forward. Now, with this new court, I'm not sure how they would side, but if I'm just looking at past cases, that would be certainly the case. And another thing with the variant that's really concerning to me is the amount of children that under 12 who can't even get the vaccine. They can't, even if they wanted to, they can't get the vaccine because they're too young. And now we're seeing an uptick of children under 12 that are also being stricken with COVID. And what do we do about that? Are we going to do trials where we're developing things for children? Or we're just going to keep on this path of just letting them get it? Because if it gets too bad, I don't know what to... Of course, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, so definitely take no medical advice from me. But there has to be something that's done about, especially our children being inflicted with this variant. And of course, we still have some idiot governors out there, DeSantis, Abbott, that for some reason will not mandate masks. I don't understand how a mask got to this point where we're politicizing it. It's a mask. You should be able, as a governor, to dictate that people wear masks in situations like this. Sure, there's going to always be people that don't like it, but we're talking about the health of not only that person, but everyone around them. You have people traveling. They didn't wear masks when they were in Florida, and now they're going outside of Florida and then possibly spreading the disease that way. You have parents sending their children to school knowing that that child has COVID, which I can't even begin to understand. That's just like beyond belief to me, that you would send your sick child to class with other students knowing that that child has COVID, and also going to work. You know you have it. You have all the symptoms. I believe they call it asymptomatic. Asymptomatic. I knew I was going to get it. Asymptomatic. And you're just showing up to work like nothing's wrong. And everyone has to be now having the same diseases or same disease because you decided, oh, I'm going to just show up to work anyway. I was going to say I'm still checking my phone, so if you see my eyes look down, that's what I'm doing because I'm still waiting for my guest to get here. I am not sure where they're at, but I'm just not sure. So I'm going to just send a quickie message and then I'll get back on my rant. Okay, let's see. Okay. So that's the thing with the variant. And now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this is going to go into my messaging discussion, is now there is going to be a booster shot for those of us who already have had the vaccine twice. Now we have to get a booster. And I wonder how that's going to be not marketed. I hate to use the word marketed, but essentially, how's that going to play out? You already had people like myself that were already hesitant to get the get the vaccine. And now you're telling them, okay, we got you to get the 2, so now you have to get another one. I don't know how that conversation is going to work. And then, of course, you're going to have the people that say, oh, see, we told you it wasn't going to work. Look, now you have this that you have to do. So I wonder how that's all going to work itself out in terms of promoting this booster shot. I mean, personally, I had to get it. I have a comorbidity, so there's really no way around it. I have to get the booster. But I wonder how many people who've had their first vaccine, their second one, are going to go back and get that third one. I think it's going to be difficult. I hope I'm wrong. I hope that people will still get the booster immunization that they have to. But just expect to hear somebody on Facebook talk about, oh, we knew it didn't work. Look, now you have to do all these things and see if you're there. So, and I have a person in here. Yeah, so I'm just like, I don't know how people are going to talk about that. So let's see our first comment. Okay, let's see. Yeah, my guest is on the way, so we'll see. So one of our viewers says, I figured the booster shot should follow just like the flu shot. Another issue on the horizon will be what non-nuttery will ensure with kids under 12. Yeah, I wondered the same thing too. Because again, I can just imagine some Trump supporter just boo-hooing, talking about, oh, this thing didn't work, and they gotta get another one, and now I'm gonna just send my kid, and I'm gonna have masks. I'm not gonna have them have masks, and then they're gonna get it. I'm just hoping that the messaging improves, because so far that's been my criticism of this administration, is they've done a poor job of messaging. And I don't think they took into account the number of, I don't want to say stupid, because that's not the word that I want to use. Um, they didn't take in account the far right's uh, concern. I'll put concern in quotation marks. And that's, I don't even I didn't think this was coming. I never would have imagined that a mask would be this politicized. And this just seems to be dividing people. I mean, the majority of us are saying, yes, you should get vaccinated. But I don't understand the people who, again, say, oh, I'm not going to take it, it was too fast, or I don't know what's in it. Are these same people taking flu shots? Are they taking measles shots? Are they taking rubella, et cetera, et cetera? So, like I said, I really hope that the messaging improves on this issue, because I already am preparing myself to hear idiotic comments about the vaccine, and so I'm just like, okay, so we're just ready for them. I also wanted to talk about a certain subject, but I'm gonna wait a few seconds here to see if my guest comes. So I might put us on just a break, just a small break, and it'll be about 2 minutes here, and I'll be right back. So just pardon me while I exit, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I'm still waiting on my guest to get in, so I'm going to continue with the show. And so I want to talk about misinformation. This still is on our mass discussion, but in this case, we're talking about Facebook and the criticism they face. And so I'm going to look at a comment first, and we've got, the mask issue is a symptom of fear-based politics targeted by a demographic that will no longer be the numerical majority by 2030. I'm saying by 2025, it's over. Like, I hate to really tell some people, it's like, it's over. Like, you being the majority, you need to get rid of that mess. But Facebook, the main platform for all of us. I know some people use Twitter and some people use Instagram and some people use TikTok, although I don't know what TikTok is, so sorry. But Facebook has reported removing over 18 million posts that have had incorrect information about the COVID. And that is a problem. Because let's just say that you're one of the people who has a mind that can be easily persuaded. I'll say it that way. So you can be easily persuaded and you read this incorrect information, whether you're in a pro-Trump group or an anti-vaxxer group or a I don't trust the man group, whatever group you're in, and you read this and you pass it to your friends and they pass it to their friends. Yes, it's removed, but how are you going to take that out of their minds, if that makes sense? Because if you read something that's false and you believe it's fact, how do you then communicate to those people, hey, what you just read isn't true? Taking it down is perfectly fine. It should be taken down. But then how do you come back and say, okay, what you just read isn't right? And then how do you put that information in a way that's going to make sense? Again, that's a whole nother problem that we have. I mean, you're trying to get people to get in there and get their, well, at this point, their first vaccine. Then let's get them in there a couple weeks later to get their second. Now you're going to have to pile that on with getting a booster. And if you're reading that incorrect information and your mind is already set up to believe that, it's going to be very, very hard. And I'm not sure, I know politicians have been criticizing Facebook, meanwhile taking money from them. But they criticize Facebook for not being more aggressive. And of course, they never outline what Facebook should be doing instead. I love that when people criticize you, but they don't give you anything to like improve on or do this instead or anything. It's just, you're doing this wrong, and I'm just going to keep saying you're doing it wrong. They've also been accused of hiding misinformation. Now, I'm not sure if I agree with that because I've seen a couple people complain about, oh, they took my information down. And, most people, they don't watch the local news. They just watch, well, basically, they just get on Facebook. And then they see their news from there. And of course, we know Facebook was infamous or infamous or whichever word it is. I can never say it. I think it's infamous about the election and how they really geared that, especially that 2016 election, toward Trump and by accepting all the information. So my advice, and I know you didn't ask it, but I'll go ahead and give it anyway, is to, when they have those little things and it says play, just skip them. Stop posting fights on Facebook. That doesn't have anything to do with the discussion. I just wanted to throw that out there. But, I know Senator Elizabeth Warren has been talking about breaking them up into a duopoly instead. I'm not sure if that's the word she used. She's talking about breaking Facebook up like they did the Ma Bells. Remember way back in the day, there was a big bell company, and then they broke them down into smaller little bells, and then of course that went away because now we just have AT&T, and then the explosion of cell phones, blah blah blah. So I just don't know. I just don't know what. This is one of those ones I just don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do. It's already a touchy situation because when you're on Facebook, it's free, so we're not paying for it. So how much information can they ask for as opposed to what I'm willing to give them? People are so afraid of being tracked or chipped for information, and you already have an apparatus such as this little gadget right here that can pretty much track you anywhere you are. For example, I was um, I was at the craft store the other day, and I just happened to check my Facebook page because I got a notification that said, "Oh, how was XYZ craft store?" And I'm like, "How did the phone know that I was there?" But apparently, I had some settings that I don't know how to change, so I'm not into all of those types of things. Um, so hopefully, like I said, they'll continue to take down the information. I just don't know how to stop the information because these groups are really scaring people that are on the fence. And how do you talk to people who, don't trust the government and um, don't want to hear anything that the government has to say? And like I said, I'm just worried some about that. Um, I do know there's the federal antitrust suit, but again, I'm not going to get into that too much. I wanted to talk about. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I think my guess it may be coming on here. Well, let's see. Nope. Okay, so I wanted to talk about another issue that's kind of gotten um uh let's see. I'm still waiting on my guest. He's just messaging me, so sorry about this. Like I said, this is a test episode. Okay, I'm gonna do this and then talk to you all because we're about to ready to wrap this up in a bit. Um, I forgot what I was talking about. Um, Facebook hiding COVID information. Da 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 da. I'm trying to think what it was. It's an issue. Oh, okay. So I wanted to talk about 2022 and what I think the ramifications of that are going to be. And I definitely will go more about this on Thursday um, when I'm technically by myself. Usually on Mondays, I'm on with the panel and we kind of discuss. Uh, okay, so, okay, okay. I'm still communicating with my guests here. Still waiting for them. 2022 is going to be interesting because normally, um, the whichever party the president is in, they always lose control of one of the houses. It's either the Senate or the House, or sometimes both. And I think both is going to happen in this case, and I will tell you why I think that. I am saying that I think it's going to happen because um, I don't think it. Well, first of all, midterm elections are always a low turnout. Irregardless, you may get maybe 20 to 30% of the population that is showing up. Um, but let's see. That's a major issue, and I'm not sure the Democrats have what it is to take. And so I'll explain what I mean. Um, so, of course, you know that a majority of U.S. senators um, got a majority of senators that are taping. We got a majority of senators that are running and a few in Congress. I don't know, and if they get their side ramped up to vote, which is they're pretty good at doing, I'm not sure what the Democrats counter with. I don't see what it is that they had to say. Okay, we're offering this. Um, Especially looking at this situation in Afghanistan, that was, although again the decision was right. I definitely agree with the decision. The execution of it was totally and completely wrong. Just poor execution. How much is that going to take part? Are people going to be motivated? States are not going to offer mail-in ballots, although that would be the easiest thing to do. Is just mail everyone a ballot and just let us mail it in. But of course, they won't do that because, again, the idea is to prevent us from voting. Second criticism, again, I said this several times, is that Democrats really don't have anything to offer in terms of, hey, this is our success, let us build on it. Unless the infrastructure, the 3.5 trillion, not the 1 trillion, but the 3.5 trillion passes, I don't think they can run on the $1,400 checks because those should have been continual and not just a one time thing. I know they can run on the tax credit, which that's not really technically a tax credit, but he'll get into that a whole bunch later. Um, so I don't know how much the Republicans will win. I'm going to predict that they are probably going to take the House over. I think the Democrats will hold on to the Senate because I can't see them having the courage to run against any of the senators that are running. So they'll probably all the Republicans will maintain their seats, and I don't see any of the Democrats losing. So they'll probably keep the Senate, but lose the House, which means, if I'm right, which again I hope I am wrong, that would mean McCarthy would be the Speaker of the House, and that means that Biden isn't going to get anything done because he's not going to be able to pass anything. And I'm not sure the Democrats want to fight, and I'll tell you why I say that. Where are they at? They just came back at this session today, but a majority of them went on vacation and just decided, you know what? I'm gonna go home. And I don't know how that. I don't know if they held town hall meetings or what they did. I know my congressperson did. I didn't get a chance to go, unfortunately, because it was during my work hours. But um, I just don't know. And redistricting also plays a huge role in this. And in most state legislators, Republicans hold control. So they're going to draw the state maps in a way that benefits them. They're not, of course, going to draw the maps to benefit Democrats. That would make literally no sense. But I believe they're going to, and they did it in the past, so I don't see why it'd be any different this time. I believe they're going to draw those maps to um, benefit Republicans, and you're going to see a whole lot more Republican Congress people get elected. And I don't want to say, ha ha, I told you when it happens, but when it happens, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Um, the last thing I want to talk about is the progressive politicians finally decided to grow a backbone. So happy they did. So happy that they did. Um, There are 8 so-called conservative slash moderate Democrats that are standing in the way of either the 1.5 trillion passing $1 trillion infrastructure bill or the 3.5 trillion. And I'm going to look at my phone again because I want to get their names right. I'm not going to get their names wrong and sit here and struggle and talk about who I'm talking about. So we gonna just get their names. Okay. Okay, so okay, coming. A moderate. No, not moderate, moderate. Okay, that's against the minimum wage. Oh, sorry, I love that. So we're going back to Zoom next week. So you all aren't gonna worry about me looking down. Um, Infrastructure. Okay, there we go. Okay, so who are these 8 Democrats? They're people. I know that. Which ones are they? And of course, they're not going to tell me. Okay. Okay, so there's one representative, and I'm just going with last names because I can't pronounce this person's name. Representative Gottenheimer, Representative Philemon Villa, Henry Sellier, Vicente Gonzalez, Kurt Schrader, Carolyn Bordeaux, Jared Golden, Jim Costa, and Ed Case. Those are the Democrats that are standing in the way. So some PAC decided, you know what, we're going to run a commercial and we're just going to tell people to call. Why the Democrats don't do this on the minimum wage, HR 1, the John Lewis Voting Act, I don't know. But this commercial, which will be in the link because this is a live show and I can't do it, will be there. You'll see it. It was a really good commercial, so I hope people respond to it. And you'll see what I'm talking about. I'm like, okay, about time. Get some backbone. Do this on other stuff. Lastly, I wanted to talk about, I'm going to get to Idiot of the Week because I still haven't narrowed it down. But I wanted to talk about We Tired of This Mess. And that's the name of the group right now. So there is a effort that I decided on my own to take up, and that was to establish a political action committee that would encourage progressive-minded people or people that agree with a certain criteria of issues such as universal health care, a minimum wage that's at least $15 an hour, college for all, a Green New Deal, such as those things. And we're trying to form a PAC. We're in the very, very beginning stages. So we definitely need volunteers to help us. We're developing a survey that we'll be putting out in the next 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from today, you'll see a survey in the link section that we'll be asking you to fill out. But the link to join the Facebook group will be in the description after I get off live and go back and edit this, which hopefully I'm allowed to do. And please join because, again, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Marxist, Communist, Republican, Democrat, whatever, if you have no political affiliation, we can all agree that corporations should not be getting huge tax breaks while the majority of us are struggling because our dollars are taxed. We shouldn't be giving out free aid to corporations to take their jobs state to state or from state to country. In this case that I'm talking about, we should definitely be demanding that pharmaceutical companies either provide for free, which again that comes under universal health care, or at minimum control their prices to where the average person can afford them. And so those are the things that we will be talking about in the next few weeks. And hopefully after this survey, a platform will be formed. Hopefully after the platform will be formed, then we can start taking donations. After we take donations, we can start identifying candidates and those type of things. So again, the link is in the description section. And now for my favorite part of the show, Idiot of the Week. So my Idiot of the Week is a group of people. And for some reason, they keep being the same group of people. My Idiot of the Week, or Idiots of the Week, are all of those supporters in Alabama that went to that Trump rally with no mask, huddle up all together, and COVID is exploding in your state. Are you serious? You have the variant that is causing some hospitals in Alabama not to even have enough beds for people that are coming in. And you decide to go to a rally, don't wear a mask, don't social distance, and then if you get it, you're going to wonder, well, how did I get it? Well, you got it because you're standing next to a person or you're around a person that already has it. We're talking about a disease that's airborne. The variant is airborne. And, I'm not saying don't go outside. I would never say that. But you have to protect yourself and others. So if you get COVID from this, I'm not going to say I won't have empathy for you because I like to think of myself as an empathetic person. But when you're that close, something unfortunately is bound to happen. So those are my idiots of the week. We'll see you next Friday because again, we normally tape on Mondays, we air on Fridays. This one is live, so it's actually on a Monday. But we'll see you all for next week's show on next Friday. And remember to like the channel, subscribe to the channel, like this video or any other of the videos, comment, share, I'll get it right. Subscribe, share, comment, and support on Patreon. So thank you all for watching. Like I said, this was a test episode. Have a fantastic evening. Goodbye.